You're listening to Truly Unruly with Marcus and Jessica Trufant. Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of your favorite podcast, Truly Unruly with Marcus and Jessica Trufant. My name's Kel. I'm your host. That's Marcus, and that's Jessica.
Hey.
Trufants, what's up, homies? How you guys doing?
Doing well, brother. Doing well.
I'm alive.
Everything been all right, though? Everything been straight? It's been a minute.
Everything's everything.
Yeah.
Everything is everything today. So we're good.
Yeah.
A solid.
That's good. Well,
straight on that gas.
We Jess, we got an interesting email because I feel like our last couple episodes we've talked a lot about kids, and now we're getting the flooding of emails of parents wanting help with their kids or trying to fix relationships between themselves and their kids, essentially, if that makes any sense. But I'll read this email to you. You said what, Jess?
I said, do they really want our advice?
Well, yeah.
Yes, they do.
I mean, at the end of the day, though, like, you guys got this spectrum of kids from like 7 to like almost 18. Like, you done checked off all the boxes. So, I mean, you've seen just about everything.
Yeah.
So, all right, here we go. I'm gonna give it to y'all and then let me know what y'all think. So here we go.
Oh boy.
My 16-year-old daughter has been dating this guy for almost a year now, and he's honestly a really nice kid. But my husband, well, he's not exactly thrilled about our daughter dating, and it's causing some drama. I understand the whole protect your daughter idea, but it has become so much bigger than that. At a family barbecue not long ago, her boyfriend was just being playful and put some ice down her shirt. She jokingly said, "Ow," and then my husband went all Hulk on us. He told her boyfriend, "I'll wrestle you," and pretty much wrestled him to the ground and said, "Stop fucking roughhousing with my daughter."
Hey.
Everyone at the party was shocked. Some people are even saying I should pack my bags and leave my husband over this. Since that barbecue,
okay.
I know, right? That's a little extreme. Since that barbecue, my daughter's relationship with her dad has gone downhill. Just the other day, her boyfriend came over to the house and my daughter wanted to show him something in her room, and my husband lost it. He said that she broke one of our house rules. Now, my daughter is pretty mad and embarrassed about her dad's behavior. I've had a chat with my husband, telling him that he's risking his bond with our daughter if he keeps this up. I'm trying to be there for my daughter and her boyfriend, but honestly, I'm not sure what else to do. Any friendly advice would be awesome. Thanks, guys.
Well, I don't know if our advice is going to be friendly.
No, but it's real advice, though. It's honest advice, and we want to see this family flourish, so we want to shoot it straight.
Right.
Straight.
First of all, what is wrong with him?
Who?
The dad. Was he never a kid? Did he never have a girlfriend? Did he never...
It's different when you become an adult. And
was he never play
on the other side?
Well, you have to remember, that's part of the problem is adults tend to have amnesia and don't remember that they were wild as fuck when they were our age or when they were their kid's age. And like we went over before, they're so scared of their kid like fucking up that they just go overkill. And the mom is right. It will become a very awkward and strained relationship. He does not own his daughter as much as he thinks he does. And he cannot control his daughter. And doing what he's doing, she's going to fuck around and just leave and go get an apartment with her boyfriend. Then he really won't be able to do anything. And my last point, you wouldn't have to go through all this. She broke my rules. And I think it would help him calm the fuck down. Like we were saying a couple episodes ago, to arm her with the proper knowledge about, her boyfriend, appropriate, like all that kind of stuff. Just have a conversation with her. And I think that would make him feel better and her feel better. But yeah, no, she's sabotaging. And the boyfriend is only going to take so much of being tackled down at a family barbecue and embarrassed.
Well, let's get this straight as well. Being a 16-year-old kid, and this is on both sides. This is to the boyfriend first, though, right? You kind of don't get too comfortable in front of the parents. You putting ice down the girl's shirt in front of mom and pops at the family barbecue and all that kind of stuff. You went too far. But
did it warrant the reaction, though?
You put yourself in a position to where the dad feels threatened. Not saying that his actions was right or anything, but let's be smart about the situation. Don't do that though. Don't.
Is there proper etiquette? Like, oh, you cannot do that. You cannot put ice down.
Too much PDA at 16 in front of a girl's parents is
PDA.
Too much. You putting ice down her shirt as a dude, as a dad?
He could have put it down the back of her shirt. You don't know what he did. People do that shit all the time.
I assume he
did it down the front. Don't make assumptions.
I assume it was the front. The dad went Hulk and tackled him and all this other stuff. So it could have been in the front, back, side. I don't really think it matters. The dad was probably thinking sexual act of some kind. So let me come in and interject. So if
they're going to be doing that next.
Pop was being uncomfortable, but again, the boy needs to be a little bit more chill about it. But dad is totally out of line. And like you said, Jess, you run the risk of pushing your daughter
further into the arms of her dude.
And they may be uncomfortable coming back to the house, and they're going to go hang out in the car, in the alley, and then they do whatever they're going to do. So you got to tread lightly. You do want to set ground rules, though. I don't want to sit up here and say that there's no rules and you do whatever you want, but you got to toe the line, right?
I agree. There are rules, but you also, I learned when I was in school, especially when you're a teenager, even though you're not mentally, you don't have the adult thinking and all that kind of stuff and, control of your impulses and all that kind of stuff. But we were put on this earth to come together and to procreate and have babies and do all that kind of stuff. So it is natural for boys and girls to want. I think it just happens, like that sexual energy, that all that kind of stuff. They're like little adults. What makes it bad at 16 versus 18? I mean, like a little bit younger. Well, I'm just saying there's like a natural, it's just kind of natural.
Right. A natural attraction.
The natural law of attraction and sexuality and all that kind of stuff. And so
parents can't stop that is the point.
They can't stop it.
You're trying to make, right?
Right. Parents cannot stop that because it is innate. It is natural. You're going to want to hold your boyfriend's hand. You're going to want to progress to kissing. You're going to want to progress to touching. You're going to want to do all those things. Now, granted, you're right. You need to know your audience and
putting ice down your girlfriend's shirt in front of her dad.
But if the dad
stupid.
But if the dad started off with talking to his daughter instead of saying, "You've broken the rules. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that." Just have a conversation with her. Like it makes me uncomfortable when he puts ice down your shirt, or when you're around us, I would like you guys to kind of keep the PDA at a minimum instead of just holding all that shit in and then going like fucking ape shit on the dude.
To be honest too, the dad can build a relationship with the boy as well, right? And come to a understanding, right? As men or as man to young man, right? And understand where the father, the pain points are, right? And just understand the dynamic, right? I know it's easier said than done, and it usually don't go down like that. I know that I would be protective as well, but to a point, you definitely want to talk to your daughter first, right? And be comfortable with that kind of back and forth. Kind of what we talked about in the next show.
They're going to do stupid shit. I'm pretty sure him putting ice down her shirt, first of all, it might have been sexual, but I don't think it was sexual.
Everything's sexual at 16.
Kids do that shit naturally. Kids do that shit all of the time. So I'm pretty sure he wasn't like, I don't know. I don't think it was intentional. I think they were having fun. They're at a barbecue, whatever. It's probably hot. He just does that to her.
You're making excuses for this young man starting a wet t-shirt contest.
I was about to say, quick question, guys. Yeah. So if he had a water gun and she had a white t-shirt on and he started spraying her with the water gun, would it be, oh, he's being sexual, or we're just trying to cool off because it's hot outside?
It could just be an innocent water gun fight that completely exposes her boobs.
Slow motion video
through her t-shirt,
like a Budweiser commercial,
right?
Something. Yeah,
but that's when again, you still don't tackle him to the ground,
right?
But that's when you're like,
But if he had a relationship with the boy and the boy really understood the dynamic of kind of where he's coming from, and they kind of know each other a little bit, I know that's kind of
they don't have
weird.
To have a real. That's
not
that
like
weird.
that, but I think it works better. We talked about this the other day. You catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar or shit, I guess, or whatever the saying is. So if you can kind of come into this and be the nice guy, or be the nice dad, or be the dad that is really engaging to both, right? You're interested in my daughter and her boyfriend as far as what they're doing, their likes, their dislikes, and just be involved, right. I guess is really what I'm saying.
And I get him trying to protect his daughter. I get that.
Tackle him to the flow if you have to.
At the same time, you've got to eventually, you got to let her go, right? And again, 16 and 18, like what's the difference?
You never really let them go, though, do you? You have to by choice, but you're always worried about your kids. You're always worried about your daughter. The father-daughter dynamic, I believe, is one of those things that you have to force yourself like to go hands off, right? Because she's moved on and she's married and has kids and has her own family and doing her own thing. So you naturally have to back off, but you're still kind of...
You don't own her, though.
You don't own her, but you're there like at the drop of a dime if you have to be, right? And you're always ready to go, right? And you're stretched out. You've been training mentally and physically just in case, but you do have to go hands off at some point.
Right. Well, when you realize that this is just how it is between two young people, right? They're, even though, it sounds weird, they're practicing to be adults that do that kind of stuff, right? And so I think it's just all about a conversation. He can simply have a conversation with her about what is, what does she think is appropriate for them to be doing? Do you think it's appropriate to be making out with your boyfriend in front of our family? Do you like that kind of stuff? Kind of put it on her a little bit to come back and give you some feedback and all that kind of stuff. But again, I do understand protecting your daughter, because when our daughters bring boys home, I'm going, well, one did one time and that was very short-lived. I immediately wanted to protect her too, but I also, again, have to keep in mind that she's becoming a woman and she is her own person. And
right.
Yeah.
And my thing was try not to make it so awkward. I wanted to sit down. I wanted to talk. I wanted to have casual conversation, right? And kind of make it a safe place, right? So the kids didn't feel like, oh, I can't even come in here and talk and I can't do all this kind of stuff.
It was awkward as fuck. His parents were there. We're there.
It wasn't
we're
for
like,
me, though. I mean, I was kind of like, hey, everybody, what's going on type stuff. And everybody was kind of like, oh, I don't know what to say. I don't want to say the wrong thing and all that. And I think that's kind of lame and uncomfortable. I get the respect side of it, but we're not really those parents, though, that want to make everything so strict and uncomfortable. If you're going to bring people around, and we want you to feel comfortable bringing people here and being able to communicate with us in general.
Right.
So that's the atmosphere that I was trying to bring.
Right. And, I don't know. I mean, they can't. I mean, you can't bring some dude here and like just go upstairs and like have.
I got something to show you in my room.
In the
I think that's
bedroom.
what it said on the thing.
I'm like,
Kel, right?
you better go somewhere else.
Real quick, have you guys thought about it though? Because like your family is different. You guys aren't a normal family in a sense of you're not just dating a girl. It's Marcus Trufant's daughter. You know what I'm saying? So like I think that's where the intimidation comes into you. You're just like, oh, I'm kicking it, but they're looking through a whole different lens of like,
right, yeah.
Oh, this is Marcus Trufant's daughter. I don't want to say something stupid. I don't want to fuck up. And like, have you guys had that conversation of like, I don't know, like when the girls bring, boys home, or when Cassius gets older and he brings girls home, of just like your family's just a different dynamic from just the everyday family. So like there's certain like, I don't know, you kind of got to move a little different. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
It does, kind of, but I'm to the point where it's not my problem to deal with, right? The way that other people feel about the situation, right? Our kids, I don't want them, I do want them to be aware, of course, but don't come into every situation like, okay, I got this name attached to me, so I have to so much act accordingly, or I need to do X, Y, and Z. I want you to be yourself, right? I want you to be comfortable in that. So I get it, but for the most part, that's not my issue or my kids' issue to have to deal with.
Because I'm thinking like I wouldn't think it'd be your kids' issue, because they're like, well, that's my dad. Like that's my dad, and Jessica, that's my mom. I'm talking about like outsiders. So like this outsider comes around and they're like, oh shit, like, did I say something stupid? Did I say something I shouldn't have said,
Right.
We are normal, crazy parents, and we do our thing just like everybody else. So you come over here and you act accordingly, and you get to know us, and then you figure out, okay, it's not like I'm going to a game and I'm watching something on the Jumbotron, that these are real people, right?
Yeah.
So get over it.
Facts.
Maybe one day.
Right.
But like, what would you do, Marcus? You guys are having a barbecue. Carmen brings a little boy over. Kimora brings a little boy over, and he's putting ice down her shirt.
Right. Yeah. Pull the boys to the side and call them out. I mean, and that really makes them uncomfortable in front of everybody. And let me talk to you guys for a minute.
Pulls them into the garage.
Yeah.
Pulls them into the garage.
Yep. But let me talk to both of y'all for a minute, and you guys take a walk with me. And then I'm gonna talk to the girls afterwards.
I was gonna say, you get your daughter.
Right, yeah, but
before you go tackle a dude.
I'm not tackling nobody.
I'm just saying.
Though. Yeah, but I'm gonna say, okay, I need to have a conversation with y'all.
You need to have a conversation with, either both of them, or you start with your daughter.
I'm gonna talk to them first, because they did the gesture. I know the girls is probably laughing and giggling or whatever, but let me talk to the men first, because that's who is a guest in our home, right? And if you're going to come over here, you need to act accordingly.
No, it's just like when maybe, but it's just like when the girls have friends spend the night. You are in charge of making sure that they clean up, that they do this, or you're going to get in trouble.
Different dynamic, though.
But kind of.
It's little girls. I'm not going up to little girls. I've had to shut them down before. But
it starts with them. They have to tell their friends, you know what? My parents don't like that. Don't do that. Whatever. Shut the fuck up. Right. Which,
Again, I feel like I would still take that route, or either way, it doesn't matter. I need to talk to both groups individually. It could be the girls first, it could be the guys first.
Start with your daughter. Don't start with your daughter. So she's already prepped for when you pull the boy aside.
I don't need to prep them. I don't have to give them that luxury. If I'm uncomfortable with it, I just be like, okay, this is our. I would go to
me personally. I would go to our daughters first.
Right.
I wouldn't go to I don't know. I don't think I would go to the guy. I would go to my daughter and be like, hey, I know you guys are just having fun and everything, but
different.
You're making me uncomfortable.
You're a woman. Like if it's.
So then you're saying you just tackle the dude?
No, I'm not saying that. So you would do the same thing with Cassius.
Absolutely.
Then. If Cassius brought a girl and it was getting
hell yeah,
I'd be like,
get over here.
Okay, I could see
you
that.
Stop. Tell her to stop,
right?
Or else she's gonna have to go.
But the guys in this situation, from what I'm assuming, again, that they're doing the act. They're the aggressor in this situation, right? They're pouring and dumping the water.
Oh God,
in slow motion.
That's a gross exaggeration
on the girl. So it's like, oh wait, hey, I need to talk to y'all real quick. Let's talk about this. I want you to understand where I'm coming from, right?
That's so awkward. Hey,
know.
Guys, whoa.
Exactly. That's the point.
Everybody, let's get some chairs. Let's sit down.
If we have
let's have a full conversation.
If we have to do that, I'm okay with doing that. I don't think everybody else is, though. So let me break this down.
That sounds like something you would do.
I'm going to take you guys to the side and let's talk about this, right?
But that's so awkward.
It is. That's the point.
But you're making it seem like that's where the shame comes in. It does. When you make them feel like that is something that is so bad, maybe it makes you uncomfortable.
It wouldn't be that bad, though. It's bad if you tackle somebody in the middle of a barbecue.
It's bad when you're like, boyfriend puts ice down her shirt.
Hey,
come here. Everybody sit down. Let's talk about this.
That was a gross exaggeration, just like you said. I'm going to take the guys around the corner and I'm going to talk to them guys. I'm going to give them some game first, make them understand. I would hope that over time, I like to build a relationship with these guys. Okay, I'm going to talk to you guys. You guys come over here and rap with me for a minute, right?
Oh my God, I would personally die if somebody's mom pulled me aside and was like, you know what? I think that is inappropriate.
I'm comfortable with talking to my daughters. I could talk to them. But the guys, I want them to understand where I'm coming from.
So if you were in that position and you were the guy who I'm sorry, I think it was innocent. I don't think he was trying to start a wet t-shirt contest. He's at a fucking family barbecue, right? Playfully, grab her really quick, put ice down there. And the fucking dad is like,
meeting time.
You would be scared shit. I would never want to come back to your house.
I know better. Like I said, I'm exaggerating, but it's like, let's go have a conversation. Let's rap. Let's talk. Let's go grab a soda.
You can't be putting ice down her shirt because you know what? That's going to lead to sex.
Nah, see, you. That's
extreme.
Yeah, that's a gross exaggeration. I like you saying that.
Do you guys think that this might go back to home training? I mean, even like someone like myself coming up, if I knew that I'm at this girl's house and her dad is already somewhat uncomfortable with me being there and I can already just kind of catch the vibe, that's the last thing I'm doing is putting ice down anybody's shirt. Just the fact that her dad is there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just like I'm not doing that. Like,
gotta have more game than that.
But it's been a year and they're at a family barbecue and maybe maybe they're just having fun. Maybe it was very,
But if I don't like it, I don't like it. And I have the right to be able to say this to a young man. Okay, hey, that's not, I want you to have more game than that. I don't want you guys going to think that it's okay to do
to play.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Give them something to think about.
Give
them something to think about. If we're here to teach and be, I would call it teammates with these kids because we don't want to push the kids away. Hey, you know what I'm saying? No, I want the kids to be able to talk to us.
Y'all ain't teammates.
We are, in the same organization. We are. Yeah. All on the same team. I'm upstairs in the coach's box and these are the players, right? So
shit.
The final decisions, I may not have that final decision. I know that it's up to my daughter on whether she's going to continue to date and all this kind of stuff, but I can put in my 2 cents.
You set the boundaries ahead of time.
You do.
Then.
ahead of time.
You start.
And the boys might not know the boundaries. That's what I'm saying. The daughter, of course, you give her the game and she talks to the boy and it kind of lays it down, the do's and don'ts. But if he gets out of line, I can
If it gets out of line and he continues to dump ice down her shirt, then
I tell you once and then I don't want to have to tell you it again. So I'm going to take this opportunity one time of being uncomfortable and then you know.
I mean, you got to think about it too. Like, I remember you said, like, what's the difference between 16 and 18? Well, 16, you're still in high school. You still live underneath my roof. You ain't paying no motherfucking bills. These are the ground rules of me and your mom's house. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we allow in the house. This is what we don't allow in the house. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And it could be the same when you're 18, though.
That's what I was going to say. At 18, it don't mean you're grown necessarily.
You're not grown. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
There's not like a huge difference in maturity. Like, slightly, right?
Yeah.
There is a difference, but it's like, I don't know, because I firmly believe that when you're 18, you're not a fucking adult. You're still a kid as far as I'm concerned. But
that's where guidance and
comes in.
And being pulled to the side
really don't
of do's
know
and don'ts.
what the context was. We don't know if they were just running around chasing each other and he grabs ice. Like, you've got to, I'm trying to look at it from an innocent
if he
standpoint.
Put him in the full Nelson and tackled him down to the ground and did all this other stuff, it had to be somewhat
you ain't like it.
He already has an issue.
He does.
It's been festering and brewing. Go see a fucking therapist, bro, first of all. And the kid, he's been around for a year.
But the mom didn't think it was that bad.
He's probably like,
the mom thought he was out of pocket too. And the mom thought that the dad was out of pocket. So it might be something to that. You're right.
He might have been, I think he was out of pocket. And again, I would be like, Carmen, get over here. Don't let him put ice down your shirt like that again.
Right. And as you're doing that, then I take the guys.
I won't even say anything. I don't need to say shit to him. If it happens again, then it's all right. I already told Carmen. Now I'm going to tell you. Please do not drop ice down her shirt at the family barbecue when it's hot outside and you guys are running and playing. Do not do that. That's crossing the line.
But I think though, like as a dad with a daughter, my reaction to the little boy would be, and especially if he's feeling this comfortable around the family, I'm like this. Hey, nigga, come here. We're not doing that. Chill on that. All right, my fault. Cool. And then that's it.
Simple.
You know what I'm saying? It's not even a long drawn out explanation.
Happen. Well, Marcus wanted to grab chairs and have like a fucking therapy session. It's like, you can do either way. You can be like, hey, Carmen. Or you can look at the dude and be like, not cool, bro.
Yeah, we're not doing that, bro.
Stop.
Yeah, we're not doing that. But like, what do you say though? Like, cause it's hard, I feel like, for fathers to, you know, release those reins a bit, especially when it comes to your daughter. But like you said, you don't want her to rebel, because I've known girls growing up who fathers were so goddamn strict, they had to sneak out to go to prom type shit, you know, and that's when you really have like driven your fucking kids away.
That's what I did.
You had to sneak to go to prom?
Well, I went to home. I was always in trouble. So I was just telling somebody this story. And it was homecoming my senior year. I got in trouble and my mom told me, you can go, but you've got to be back by midnight. Homecoming ends at like midnight and I have to be back by midnight. So a bunch of us had put in on hotel rooms, which I didn't even tell my mom that was happening. And I went to homecoming and I just didn't come home. And so my dad had to go looking for me, and he went to my best friend Erica's house, and her dad told him that we were all at a hotel. And so
that's what happens when you don't pull the boys.
I'm in the room. There's a few of us in the room, and all of a sudden, people come, the kids come, my friends come running and banging at the door, and they're like, your dad is outside. And I'm like, they found me. So yes, that's what happens when you absolutely restrict your child. And not in every case, but in my case, right?
Right.
I have ADHD already. I'm impulsive. I have low impulse control. I'm on some fuck it shit. And you're going to try to restrict me? Somebody that can't even control themselves? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I just didn't come home. How about that? They had to find me.
Yeah, that's why I say you got to toe the line, though. So to totally let a young person run free, it could be good for some people, could be not be so good for others. But just and you want to protect your kids. It's not always about controlling. Some parents are genuinely afraid, though, but they got to get over that too.
So dropping ice down the shirt that's grounds for protection.
No, I'm just talking about all situations.
I know, but I'm just saying.
I'm talking about the prom, and then Kale was talking about girls that have to sneak out and all this kind of stuff. There's checks and balances, and you could call and make sure your kids are alive. That doesn't mean they're doing the right thing or whatever, but at least you know your kid is safe and they're in the right spot, I guess, or whatever. So there's ways to go about this instead of just coming down with the
eagle claws,
the eagle claws, and no, you can't do that. I want you home at midnight or else. And I did go out as a young kid, but I didn't have the reins on me like that. I was
fucking horse
crafty enough to make sure I did things right.
You were fucking sneaky. That's
to make
all.
Sure
and
I
he
had
was
the
the golden child, so
and
they were like,
then
okay, Marcus.
You get the reins. Or like the chains, they come off a little bit, right? I was able to move around and kind of do my thing. I had curfew, but I was never on time for curfew. But I didn't get in that much trouble because I made sure I took care of everything else on this side.
Well, I was fucking Cinderella. I was locked in a fucking basement with mice and imaginary people to talk to and shit. And my parents never, and it wasn't even my dad so much, it was my mom. She just did not like the fact that she couldn't control me. So it made her tighten the reins even more. And it made me go even more crazy.
Right. Shit. After my freshman year, my mom just gave up. She was like, this nigga's gonna be out here. I was out here. There was times, I told you guys before, there was times where like my mom and we wouldn't even see each other like in passing because our schedules were so different. There was time like I didn't see my mom for like 2 weeks. She was like, oh, how you been? Good. You're good. All right. You know what I mean? So, but and I think one of that was because of my mom trying to, when I was younger, try to have those reins on me, and I fight that shit. But I'm a boy, so it's a little different. But it is a little different. With your daughters though, it's like, fuck, like I don't need you out here getting pregnant. I don't need you out here.
You arm them. Right. Well, like you said, it starts with home training.
For sure.
And the communication.
It starts with home training and communication. It goes back to what we were talking about, which the thread was out of fucking control. Watch the whole fucking episode, you assholes.
The comments
before you get on and say some shit.
Comments be lit.
God damn.
I love the comments.
I don't know.
It'd be a whole bunch of single niggas too that be telling motherfuckers how to have a relationship. It'd be hilarious.
I can tell you're single. I can tell you don't have kids. I can tell this shit just by the ignorance coming out of your mouth.
I love it.
I can't even take it.
That's funny.
But yes, it starts with, because honestly, because of the way I grew up, I die a little inside knowing that my daughters are going to have boyfriends and they're going to want to have sex with them and all that kind of, I die inside. However, what can I do?
Right.
What can I do about that? You can't do anything about it. If they want to do it, they're going to find a fucking way to do it. So all I can do is have the conversation, arm them with,
give them the game.
Do not do anything that like we tell our daughter, when you get a boyfriend, do not ever do anything that you are not comfortable with, that you are not ready to do. If you don't want to be touched, tell him not to touch you. If you don't want to be kissed, Tell him not to kiss you. You need to do it on your pace at your time. I don't want to say, you can't do it. Don't you ever kiss your boyfriend. Don't you ever let him drop ice down your shirt at a family barbecue.
That's my job.
Right. But secretly, I'm like, oh my God, please don't let him touch you. Please don't ever kiss him. Please don't ever do that. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Wait till you're married. Don't you got to test it out before you
wait till you're ready.
buy it?
God damn it.
Jesus.
Well, no, not like that. I'm not like
That's
that.
what it sounds like.
But I didn't mean it like that. Not test it out before you drive. But you have to date.
The car before
you date.
Yeah,
that's what true. I'm saying. I'm not talking about sex too. No, because I didn't. Anyways,
Hole's getting deeper over there. Okay, go ahead.
Very deep. Yeah.
I'm just saying, dating, when people expect people to stay like celibate until they're married.
Some people do it.
Some people do it. And I think it's
only for some people, and that's all right.
It's exhibiting great
that's the
discipline,
thing, right?
Self-discipline.
We have to be open to our parents.
Natural.
Yeah, what's not looked at as perfection, right? We all are trying to figure this thing out, and that goes for kids too, right?
Right.
Parents are there to instruct, to guide, and help, and you can take them as far as you can take them. But after that, you kind of got and you can't be with them 24 hours a day.
Right, right.
So mentally, you have to talk to yourself. You have to, as parents, because we should be scared and we do want the best for our kids. So it is nerve-wracking, but you don't want to hover and beat down your kids and push them further away and take away from what you're trying to do. Hey, you're trying to encourage and help make sure the kids is safe. So don't push them so far that they go out there and they want to be dangerous. They want to be reckless and they do all this stuff that counteracts exactly the goals that you're trying to get to.
Especially for girls. Girls have it tough. I think boys get a little bit more of actually they do. And it's like,
in what way?
I compare it to tightening the reins, kind of like how the birth control is regulated. Like you make it so hard for girls to get birth control. And then you wonder why the teen pregnancy rate is through the fucking roof. So it's kind of like, I don't know. And it's specifically with girls. You know, how do you get to control our reproductive rights or all that kind of stuff? It's really not fair. And I think it's more of a hindrance than a help. And so my point is, it's just kind of, you tighten the reins. We're going to restrict birth control. We're going to take this away from them. Well, watch them continue to do what they're going to do. Watch the teenage pregnancy rate rise. And with that comes a whole bunch of other shit. So just be smart. As parents, I don't know. It's hard.
What would you guys say for this wife that's kind of stuck in the middle here between her daughter and her husband? I mean, she said she's like the boy. She's, but she's had conversations with her husband. Is this just more of the, her husband just needs to do some fucking soul searching and just kind of let up a little bit?
It's a personal problem. I don't know what he went through, the fact that was the wife able to say something to him? Because if not, is there fucking control all the way around that bitch? I have no idea. But, yeah.
I would say that the wife, is doing
divorce.
No. Well, yeah, that's what people are saying. Should she pack her bags? But talk to the husband, man, and let him explain himself, right? That's kind of like you talk about double standards and stuff like that. Guys, we don't get a platform to tell our side of the story. Talk about our feelings, where we're coming from, right? And it came out wrong, and he didn't do a good job of expressing himself by tackling this young man to the ground, but talk about it. And that's what I'm saying. Sitting down with the cheers and a round table and having a real conversation about it sometimes for guys, and we got to let stuff out. We normally don't know how to do that. That's why you get guys that are tackling these young men are very uncomfortable and everything's about sex. And I don't want my daughter to fall victim to this and that. But let's start talking about this stuff out loud. Let's get it out in the open, and let's not just be so tight and it always got to go to the physical. Let's talk to this and let's be men about this. Let's be player about this, but not like that. But let's have some control, man, and let's get through this and let's see what this really
Let's have some
means and what this looks like, right? So give the dad a little grace, but yes, it's the mom's job to talk the dad down off the ledge and get him back to reality.
It's not the mom's job to do that at all.
It is her job as a partner. If he's out of line, you tell him that he stepped out of line and he needs to come back. If he needs to apologize, he needs to do this or that. But there's steps to get back. I believe so.
Okay, well, how about this? I just thought about that. Even though, again, I don't think the ice, I think it was very benign. It wasn't like, I think it was very innocent, right? But the fact that he has hated this or disliked this boy.
And he's a nice kid, allegedly, right?
How about he feels threatened? That this kid is coming in, he's gonna take his baby, you know, just think about that. He might really feel threatened by this boy, that he is going to take his daughter away.
Let him get that off his chest.
Right. And maybe he doesn't know how to deal with it. And maybe it's manifesting in those ways. As in tackling him.
Right. Let him get that off his chest.
He could be threatened
but
by
that was my bad.
He could be jealous of their relationship. You just never know.
That was my bad, little Timmy. That's not where I wanted to go with that, but I'm working through this issue. And you know, my daughter's growing up.
Right, this is my baby. I don't want to let her go type thing.
Round table discussion. Let's do it.
Because remember, like, you know, for a little girl, her dad is the first man she's ever fallen in love with. You know what I'm saying? So like her father's example is what her idea of what a man is and how a man should be, if that's good or bad. So I'm kind of with Jess on this one. Like, yeah, I think he's threatened. Because if the mom is like, he's a good kid, he's a nice guy, and just this dad just for no reason, just off the rip, just does not like this kid. Just be, you know what? If he wasn't dating his daughter, he probably liked this boy. But it's the fact that he's dating her daughter. Yeah, that's what it fucking sounds like. Interesting.
Hey man, it's new for everybody. Give the dad some grace though.
No, I feel you.
No, you don't.
Give him some space.
Get great, but you gotta be able to regulate yourself. But again, I don't even think he understands why he's doing what he is doing. Let me talk to him. I got him.
and maybe the little boy. I'll end it with this, and maybe the little boy too. Like, he's super, super playful, and it might, you know, he might horseplay, take it a little too far, and maybe he doesn't have a father figure or a dad at home to try to tell him, like, hey, son, like, these are boundaries. Like, these are boundaries that you need to learn when it comes to girls. Like, you know, you don't want to overstep. You know what I'm saying? And just give him that guidance. You know what I'm saying? But
exactly what I was saying. That's why you pull him to the side and give him some game.
I don't know though, Marcus. I feel like you pull him to the side and be like, hey, nigga, look.
Nah, not if it was somewhat playful and it didn't look like.
Right. You could be like, hey.
Extra grotesque, right? I'd be like, yeah, man. It just depends on what the whole situation was. But if it was like playful and it was just being kids, still, okay, this is not what we do, man. That's not a good look.
Right. No, it's not. This is not what we do. I'm uncomfortable with it.
This is not what we do.
They're just playing.
I know, but
adults drop ice down each other. That's what I'm saying. This is not what we do. No, I'm uncomfortable with what you're doing.
Because of what? Because this is not what we do, right? And you're putting ice down my daughter's shirt in the middle of the barbecue.
I'm uncomfortable with what you're. Again,
don't do it.
I think it's innocent. But it makes him uncomfortable.
Even if it's innocent.
I'm uncomfortable with what is happening. Please stop.
Right. Yep. Let's learn from this.
All right.
But he's uncomfortable.
The dad is uncomfortable.
Make that a point. I am uncomfortable with what you're doing. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm uncomfortable though. And so I would like you to respect my discomfort.
Right.
And fucking
That's
stop.
what I meant. This is not what we do in this type of setting when I'm sitting right here. Right. Not like in general, and you're with your friends, you guys are hanging out. There's no parents there. There's no adults there. But
and he has a right to feel uncomfortable.
Yes, but there's a clear difference between hanging out with your friends and then hanging out with your girlfriend's parents. There has to be a difference there. A whole barbecue of adults and kids, whatever. This is not what we do in this situation.
He was watching that boy like a hawk.
As he should.
They were probably running around in the backyard, and he fucking lasered in, and he probably ran from down the fucking street and tackled this dude. Nope. I'm just uncomfortable.
Hey man, look. Who's at the door? Reggie. Who the fuck's Reggie? You know, that's all I can think of.
How old are you, Reggie? Hey, you look 30.
Can you fight?
Okay, what's that from?
You fight me, nigga? Bad Boys.
Men in Black? No, Bad Boys.
Bad Boys.
Yeah. Martin and Will Smith.
When the little boy comes over to take Martin's daughter on a date.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
Jess ain't got no memory. All right, y'all. Well, I think you guys gave good advice. I think both of you gave balanced advice too. Because you first off, if any little boy is going to be hanging around your daughter, you want him to respect your daughter. And if he's going to be in your house too, you want him to respect your house. But at the same time, you have to understand that the fact that you're even allowing your daughter to date, little fun things like this happen. Water fights happen at the family barbecue. People might throw ice, but you can't. It doesn't give you merit to be like, I'll wrestle you, and then say, don't fucking horseplay with my daughter. Like, it'd be one thing if he was
wow.
I would have loved to have been there. That would have been great to see that in.
Right, like it's one thing to.
I would have been like
this nigga's tripping. Yeah,
it's time to go
from the back.
I would have been like, I would have been like, you guys, let's go.
I would have been like, where's the foil at? I would have been wrapping my plate up and been like, it's time to go.
Music stops.
For sure. A good episode, you guys. Good shit, man. Truly Unruly with Marcus and Jessica Trufant. Follow us on all things social at trulyunruly_podcast. And of course, follow these guys. Follow their personal pages. Marcus_Trufant and Jessica_Trufant. You can listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform. And of course, catch the visual on YouTube by just searching Truly Unruly. And you can catch us every Sunday on Converge. Word. All right, y'all. Till next time, peace and much love.